Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be doing the unboxing that I mentioned last week. So I had all of my packages finally come in. I've been waiting on some of these for a couple weeks actually. They kept going back and forth in the shipping process, going from Pennsylvania to Virginia over and over and over again. So this one in particular I've been waiting for like 2.5 weeks, maybe more. And there was one that was shipped from like an hour and a half away, and it took 3 or 4 days. Um, Actually, I bought the coin from the guy, and it took 3 or 4 days to get here. And I bought some more coins that from him that I'll show you later. And I just ended up picking them up in person because it was faster. So we'll start with this one. This is, I honestly don't know what exactly is in here. This is just a bulk lot of foreign I bought that was really cheap. I like I said in the last video, I like having, a box of foreign like this. And it was getting really low, so I just needed some bulk. So I paid really cheap for this, like 40 cents each, 50 cents each. So I didn't really care to ask what was in there. The guy did not ship it out in a timely manner, so he says he put some extra in there, so I'm not exactly sure what that looks like. Oh, this is actually really nice. It came in some 2x2s. That's really cool, actually. Yeah, two by twos. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Okay, not missing anything. So I guess I'll just start. There's a lot of packaging for 2 boxes. That's really nice, actually. It's one thing that people talk about a lot is shipping practices, because some dealers, some not so good dealers, think that as soon as they ship it out, or the shipping label is created, then that's the end of it for them. That's the end of their responsibility, which is not true. It's until all good dealers assume that the coins are on them until it reaches the house, until it says delivered on the tracking label. And this was really good tracking, or really good shipping. So that is really nice. I'm assuming this is the extra that he said. This says East Africa 10 cent. I am not familiar with this. I don't know if I said it in the last video, but I'm kind of going through different foreign countries and one by one kind of learning more about them. And I have actually never seen these before. They're pretty neat. I don't know if these will focus, but they're pretty big, and they're really pretty, honestly, and they're not bad condition. 1945, 1952. East Africa. This is pretty neat. 1950, 1950, 1950, 41. So I'm assuming this is the extra. There's a good stack in here. Maybe, I don't know, 15 coins. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to go through all of these. Oh, actually, there's more of them. So these are East Africa 10 cents. Yeah, with the British crown. And then these are East Africa 5 cents. So just about half the size. They look exactly the same. So that's really neat. So what are we, oh, this might, I don't know if this was, see, this is the hard thing, is I don't know what was in the extra. Like I said, I don't really know what was being shipped. So I'm assuming this is extra as well. Let's see, this is George, yeah, George, King George, 3 pence, yeah, 1941, 39, 37, 42, 43, and 44. Is it a, okay, yeah, it's a streak, well, minus 38, but it's kind of neat, so that's cool. I'll have to put those into some individual cardboard flips later, which will take a little bit of time, but that's really nice, add some bulk, some inventory. So I think this group was heavy in German and Australian, I want to say. So this is German, Netherlands, 2008. That's actually really pretty. It's like a sunflower. I don't really get modern. I usually get mid or early 20th century. This is British West Africa with some interesting toning. 1938. That's really neat too. The plastic's kind of big on that. Yeah, but that's a pretty note, or pretty coin. German, 1875. Germany. I also like getting in collections, because you cannot see that at all, can you? I am working on getting a better camera. I am doing some research and looking into some, so hopefully we can have better quality. Maybe the light will help a little, but I did notice on the last video that things were a little yellow. They don't look that yellow when you're recording, but hopefully the light seems to be helping. So these are some later 1900 or 1800s, late 1800s German. I guess I like German. I feel like I have to say that. Like I said, or like I showed in the last video, you know, I had that huge box of German. So let's see if we can find anything different in here. German. Yeah, these are all German. Yeah, so this whole stack is German. I don't know if I cut myself off. I like the older, like buying older collections, because you get kind of these really cool flips. These older flips, you can just tell it's part of an older collection, and they have a little bit of discoloration to them. So I really enjoy getting those, and I like seeing the old styles of collecting and what people were doing with coins and you know, practices, because the practices have changed, or at least people have become more aware. Because, you know, back in the day, everybody's cleaning coins, for example, which is obviously not what you want to be doing, and like the harshest learning lesson, and you know, what everyone tells you not to do. So same with this is an old box. It's kind of cool. It has the, you know, the old writing on it. So I don't know, the note says, the top says Germany only, 1870s to 1970s, chock full. I'm not sure if this is going to be accurate, but we'll take a look. This is one of my biggest turn-offs when I'm buying coins. Actually, I come across this somewhat often, is in these little paper flips, because I do not want to be going through a box exactly like this, and you know, you see these are all paper flips, so there's some up here, and I don't want to be going through this and like, okay, you know, I see Germany, but and the denomination, but then I have to pull it out, and I have to pull it out of the envelope, and you know, look at it, and you know, make my opinion, and then put it back in, close it up, and put it back in. And if I'm looking to buy 10 coins or more, I don't want to be going through a crap ton of envelopes like that. So not a fan of those. Here's some in Australia. This is 1935. Let's see. So Mexico, that's kind of cool. Mexico City Mint. So yeah, here we're starting to get some diversity, which I definitely needed. Australian again. Yeah, like I said, definitely needed some diversity. So this is good. Australian. Let's see. I think there's, yeah, Mexico. There's some more Germany. Australian. This is interesting. A bag, you know, Ziploc bag with the coin, and then Aussie. Yeah, 1941. Some British. Not Ziploc bags anymore, but kind of weird. I've never seen a plastic flip like that. They're really long. Kind of some funky coins. What's that? More Mexico. Let's see. Is there anything interesting in here? Mexico, Austria, or Australia. India. Okay. Hold on. We got some Indian stuff here. 1966. These are kind of cool, actually. I don't get a lot of Indian stuff in either, so that's kind of a fun. That's a cool shape, like the diamond / square. I don't even know what you would call that. Squircle. No. Half crown. So okay, so there's some more diversity. That's pretty nice, and then just all Germany in flips. So I'm gonna spend a long time going through those and putting those in cardboard flips. Some of these I can probably, yeah, I can definitely keep some of these in here. But anyways, so there's that big foreign group. I'll be working through that. All of these will be available at the Annandale Coin Show. let's see, we're gonna move on to this, which is this is a really cool coin, actually. One of my biggest loves, and something I like to keep in my personal collection. This one will be for sale, but I really enjoy thalers. So this is, ooh, that is a little bigger than I thought. This is maybe a rotated die, a 1621 Netherlands thaler. This is an earlier one. I mean, you know, I don't want to say earlier, because you can find, 1500s pretty commonly, but when it comes to the Netherlands, people are usually, buying like the Lion Dolder, which is like 1550s is really the most common era. The back is pretty neat. It has soldering on it, but the soldering is in a style of like mid 1800s, so it's still, it's jewelry. It comes out much further than I thought it was, which is what I was saying when I opened it. But the coin itself is pretty nice, and it's always nice to be able to hold these in person. I always buy graded ones, because I feel like that's what I find more commonly with these thalers. But the jewelry piece, the soldering, it sucks. It takes away from the coin to a lot of people. But this isn't a terribly expensive thaler. I think I'll have this priced at like $140, $150. But the soldering is like mid 1800s, so it's still historic in itself, and it still tells a story, and you're kind of able to understand where it's gone, because obviously if it's having soldering and being used in jewelry, it's going to be probably, Europe or the UK, and it's obviously here in Virginia, and I bought it here in Virginia. So I don't know, it doesn't bother me as much as it maybe should. I don't know, I think it adds to the coin. So let's see if I can get these out of here. So these, I think, if I can get them out, are 5 graded. I kind of want to keep the packaging on these, so okay, not keeping the packaging on that one, and that one's sealed. Okay. All right, so finally got those opened. Let's start. There are 5 of them. Let's start with the smallest. So this is a 1120 to 1180 France Geoffrey II and III of Donzy environmental damage. So this is a pretty small coin, but medieval France. It's pretty cool. I really like, there's that cross. I really like the medieval stuff, so I think all of this is going to be medieval or late medieval. So this is 1406 to 54, Spain, Blanca, Juan II. This is actually a really cool coin with the dragon, the lion, and then looks like the castle. So that's a really neat coin. I really like that one. Again, all these will be available at Annandale, and if they don't sell there, they'll be available on, they'll be available in Fredericksburg, but I also have an Instagram. I'll have to link that in the bottom of the description of the video so that people can find that. So this is 1252 to 84, Spain, Dinero, Alfonso the 10th, environmental damage. The details on the front aren't great, but the back looks better. You can see, let's see if I can rotate the right way. You can see the castle. So that's a really pretty coin. And then these two are my personal favorites. I really like the medieval stuff that has rulers and kings and things on it, that has pictures of people on it. I think that's really interesting, and honestly a pretty good source of understanding history as well. So this is 1664 Polish 6G. So yeah, you can make out that crown and the ruler. Yeah, that's coming across all right. And then best for last is another Polish. This one's a little earlier. This is 1625, but this one's pretty nice. Yeah, that one has good amount of details left, and then the back is really nice as well. Does have some old, this is environmental damage, but looks more like a harsh cleaning on the back. I don't know if you can make that out, but there's like, let me see if I can get in like some light, but it almost looks like whizzed. But so those are, yeah, that's everything that came in. Those are the packages that came in. I did buy a small group of coins off of, like I said, the same person I bought the Thaler from, so I'll show those. That's nothing exciting, but it's some large cents. I'm starting to get a pretty good sized grouping of large cents. Actually, I probably have around 30 of them now, some kind of crappier ones. So, you know, there's a readable date, but she's rough. She's really beat up. These are some no dates that you know, just put at $5. A lot of people buy large cents at a minimum of $20 because they are really cool and they are pretty historic. They're pretty collectible, but you know, with no date, I think honestly, I think if I spent a little bit more time with those, I could pull a date off of them, but I don't really care that much, if I'm going to be honest. So some of these still have some pretty nice details, but so I have some that not in this group, but some other ones that might be contenders for grading, but these have some nice details. Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 others. Picked up, this was at the Winchester Coin Show, which was my first time there. It actually was a pretty good show. I've always heard good things about it. It's very loyal and it's small, but there was a good mix and a lot of people buying and selling, so it was pretty enjoyable. This is a rough condition, but it is an 1875 Carson City dime. You can see that CC above the bow, so it's a above the bow variety. This is an 1833 dime with an high 3, which is a little bit more meat on it than the CC, but a Carson City is always a Carson City. And then speaking of which, I did pick up 2 Carson City Morgans off of that guy, and I always love getting Carson City stuff in. Like you guys know, I'm not the biggest into American. I mean, like, I always buy American, but obviously almost everything I've shown you today is foreign, and everything I showed you last time was foreign. So, but I do still have a love for American, and especially Carson City. I mean, no one can hate Carson City. Those CCs are just beautiful. So these will all be available at the show. That's about everything for today. That is, you know, like I said, everything that came in. I think today or tomorrow I'm going to do the takedown on the 1867 Remington rolling block. I have some other guns back there that I might do some takedowns on, a trapdoor conversion, and then I need to go hunt out and buy another gun for a restoration. So it's just a good excuse to spend more money, to be completely honest. So yeah, those are coming. Come see me at the Annandale Coin Show next week. That is July 26th and 27th, Saturday and Sunday. I think it opens at 10, closes at 4 or 5 each day. It's a really good show. There is some kids stuff, some kids auctions, and yeah, so come see me there, and you can pick up any of this stuff that I've shown you in the last couple of videos. So I'm still working on the intro, or the outro, so we're just gonna stick with I'll see you guys later.